In this video, I'll be covering CVD divergences, explaining them and how I use it within a real trade scenario and some further advanced context tips. To begin with, I only really look at CVD in the line format within Excel charts or any other platform I'm using. Here are my settings for that. If we just go over to the little cog wheel here on the top left, you'll see you've got CVD type, visible range, height, histogram, opacity, all of this stuff if you want to copy that. Do bear in mind, I'm a very visual trader in the aspect of not focusing too much on direct figures, but more visual cues in order to spot a trade or trigger which causes me to actually enter. To simplify CVD, it will show you at any given point in the chart how aggressive the buying or selling is in relation to price. In this example, you can see we've got this much aggressive buying going on at this high and this much aggressive buying going on at this high. When discussing divergence in this case is when referring to absorption. That is personally my only preferred use case for CVD as a whole. However, although I do acknowledge there is other ways to look at CVD, I'm just telling you the way in which I find it most useful and actually actionable within my day-to-day trades. Absorption is where we see orders being eaten up by larger players, showing the larger player's potential hand, thus giving us as traders a somewhat potential edge should we be able to read this data correctly and within market context as well. We'll be using two variables to decipher whether this is absorption or not, CVD line and price. If we see price making lower highs whilst CVD is making higher highs in the same location, that then shows us that there's more buying going on within the lower high, yet price still wasn't able to breach the prior high that was made on the chart. This is a bearish scenario. So you can see here in this case, you've got a high, you've got a lower high, you've got a high on the CVD, you've got a higher high on the CVD. Price isn't able to breach this high whilst making a higher high on the CVD, thus potential bearish CVD divergence is forming. Potential. I know you're probably thinking that you've seen this all before, but however, I'm really going to go into detail now actually how exactly I use this due to the obvious nature of there being leading CVD divergences and acting upon this in real-time stuff and how I'd use it to actually execute upon a trade. Leading CVD is where you may believe there to be CVD divergences in real time. However, those CVD divergences quickly get cancelled out due to the nature of it being leading. It would be the same in this fashion as, for example, here you've got the high, the higher high. Obviously, there's a bigger breakdown from it. But imagine in real time, you're seeing this and it just continues. You think there's bearish CVD because what you're seeing in real time, it's not a lagging indicator and it just continues to trend and trend and trend. And all of a sudden, you short here and you're stopped out due to the nature of this just tending to be leading CVD. So how can you kind of confront and get around that? To counteract this, we've come over to TradingView now just to break this down for you. This is the top part here is your price. This bottom line here is your CVD. So essentially what you're going to be referring to is the potential bearish CVD divergences between these highs here, right, and these highs here, because obviously price and CVD generally should follow each other. High, 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 higher high on the CVD, lower high in price. So how can we then be confirming that basically this will be breaking down and that we're to be looking for shorts? You want to be looking for a structure change. Now, obviously this is very kind of obvious. However, you want to be sourcing a lot of your trades from your invalidation. Where are you wrong? Thus then giving you an entry. It should be your thought process behind taking most of your trades, in my opinion. On this idea, for example, now, if you're about to enter a short trade now, for example, are you confident in placing your invalidation above that overall high? I would say no, because for me, there's not been any structure change. This could still be leading CVD and price continues to head up from here, not invalidating by changing any sort of structure. Now, what would be better is if we did this. If price was now to essentially break down, okay, clear up potentially a few lows, validate that this CVD, bearish CVD absorption have been playing out, change structure would be great. You can even break one lower high low, two higher lows, whichever one you prefer really. And then upon that retrace now, whether that be internal liquidity or whatnot, that is then where you're getting into a trade with your invalidation firmly above this high, with the idea that you're going to be trading with the bigger players who absorbed price at these levels. Okay, so I'm just watching the recording back now, and I kind of brushed over this point too quickly in my opinion. What I mean by looking for internal liquidity is that you've seen that structure change after some bearish CVD at the highs here, for example. So you've seen the structure change of this low being broken, right? And then you want to be looking for shorts off of the internal liquidity. Internal meaning from this high down to that local low you'd made. I wouldn't be too aggressive in shorting like a 236, to be honest. I'm more, waiting for a 382 / like, for example, these internal highs to be taken right before then a high, lower high point for a larger drop. Alternatively, you could be looking at anchored VWAPs taken from the high, and also like taking fixed range pulls of this high to low. Once you've done that, you've got good internal levels to be trading off of, to then be looking for some form of lower high to be made and looking for lower. The point is that your invalidation is still set in stone. whether you enter based upon internal liquidity, high volume nodes, anchored VWAP, whatever it may be, the overall idea is that you don't want to see this high taken out. So yeah, sorry for the brush over on that one. A few other notes to point out from this video is the time frames. I'm using this primarily on the 3-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute, 15-minute. I'm never really going above the 15-minute to be looking at CVD divergences. And in relation to that, I've actually only really spoken about bearish divergences in this example. So let's quickly cover what the bullish version would look like. So the bullish CVD divergence is essentially, rather than looking at the highs for the bearish, looking between lower highs to be made and CVD to making higher highs, for bullish, you're looking at lows. So always remember this: bullish lows, bearish highs. And in this case, you want to be seeing higher lows made on the CVD, on the price, sorry. So higher lows on the price, and CVD be making lower lows. Why is that? Well, if CVD is making lower lows, there's more selling happening here than there is happening here. So more selling happening here on the right than there is on the left. And thus, price still isn't moving down. That is more bullish CVD. Now, although I've just mentioned all of that, I still, again, want to see those structure changes. So like, let's say price is trending down, okay, and then you see, you know, bullish CVD happening here, but there's no real structure change. Well, I would still be cautious, because I've seen it happen too many times. I've fallen to this a lot of times in my previous, you know, failures. Essentially, I don't mind missing a trade. You know, I'm more confident waiting for this high to be taken, change of structure, thus having a much clearer and more powerful invalidation to be placing my trade off of. Okay, how confident are you that where you're placing your invalidation will hold and will be valid? You know, after a structure change, it's much more likely to do so. So that's why I'd really recommend it in that case again. But yeah, I'm really trading it with that structure change, and then again looking for those same kind of internal liquidity, internal fibs, internal fixed range pools, internal anchored VWAPs. Now I'm going to dive into a few more advanced kind of tips, as well as like a little actual trade I took on my account, and I can kind of talk you through it in a bit more detail and actually how I'm thinking during the time of this. Okay, so let's get into it, because I think this is a perfect example of this going on. So what happened is, this is your high, initial high in the chart. You then got this high, you're making lower high, so high, lower high, but now on this kind of composite high here, you're making this essentially, look at this high, massive bearish CVD supposedly. But again, at this moment in time, I'm still actually thinking this can still push to the upside. One thing to note, which I'm going to come back to in a minute, is like, what is that bearish CVD present with? What does it consist of? And I'm going to come back to that in a moment, so just think about that. You obviously then see the break in structure, so you see the break of these two lows, price breaks down. You're thinking, maybe that's a bit late for it to play out. But no, remember, this is your prime invalidation. This is what you're comparing that bearish CVD against. High, lower highs in the CVD, initial high being, you know, taken, that would be your invalidation. And again, a strong invalidation point as to where this, you know, would not be going any higher if you reclaim this level. You then see the breakdown, and again, this next rally is where you want to be looking ideally to be shorting, okay? And again, this is where I'm kind of referring to internal liquidity, okay? Internal liquidity, where you can then see, this is the exact moment here, okay? So you then seen this is the high, bearish CVD, price again. So this is your internal stuff now between this high here and this lower at the low here. So this is all your internal stuff. So you just put on this internal stuff, okay, and what happens is price simply comes up, not simply, but it comes up, sweeps internal liquidity, okay, with your invalidation being the swing high. And this was the trade I took, okay. I actually had a bit of a different invalidation on this one, but this is where a very strong invalidation came into play. I had this trade here, but this would be your overall invalidation, in my opinion, on the idea. And again, it took a while to play out, but again, at this stage, it was very, very nice. And it took a while to play out. But back to what I was discussing in terms of what does the CVD consist of. Now, what I mean by that is, when CVD obviously it can be basically discussed in terms of open interest. So within that CVD, what's the open interest doing? So within this segment here of the bearish CVD, what's the open interest doing? You can do this in multiple ways, just checking OI, obviously that open interest increasing, CVD increasing. That then gives you a format as to, okay, these are actually new longs opening up here, new longs opening. So this kind of move down actually could be even stronger than anticipated. And actually, in a lot of scenarios, when you see that, that's sometimes the moment you actually might want to jump in early into a CVD trade. So just keep that in mind, okay? It doesn't always necessarily have to be on like some sort of retest, especially when you know what type of, you know, what's consistent within that bearish or bullish CVD. You know, do you have trap longs? Do you have trap shorts? Because sometimes you might want to jump in quicker. But again, the source of the invalidation remains the same, okay? So just keep that in mind, and yeah, hopefully this makes a lot of sense. So to conclude, be sure to look at what is consistent within the open interest. Are there trap traders, you know, causing this bearish or bullish CVD? Remember to base a lot of your trades off of the source of their invalidation. Okay, and generally remember to look for structure changes before anticipating CVD to play out, because otherwise you might get into the trap of believing it's bearish or bullish CVD for it just turn out to be leading. So sometimes you want to wait for further confirmation before taking the trade. So check me out on Twitter for my intraday updates and also my templates and workspaces in regards to XO charts, and I hope you enjoyed.